Good evening, welcome everyone. This meeting is opening at 6:45 under 1.0. Is there an interpreter needed by anyone? Thank you. 2.0, call to order. Can you hear me? Okay. 3.0, roll call. Emmanuel Lopez.
Here.
Freddie Espinoza.
Here.
John Alvarez.
Here.
Sabrina Gomez. Here. And myself. If we can all please stand for the flag salute. Mr. Lopez, could you lead us, please?
Ready, salute.
Thank you. 4.0, adoption of agenda. 4.1, adoption of the agenda is requested as presented.
Motion?
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 5.0, consent calendar. 5.1, approval of the regular board meeting minutes for January 14th, 2025.
Motion?
I second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Freddie Espinoza. Is that correct?
Yes.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. Approval of released warrants dated January 9th, 2025 in the amount of $1,194,565.61. January 16th, 2025 in the amount of $287,126.23.
Well-
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Freddie Espinoza, second by Sabrina Gomez. Is that correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 6.0, awards presentations. 6.1, student board member report.
Can everybody hear me? Hold it down. Oh, there you go. Can everybody hear me? Oh, okay.
You're good. Thank you.
Pardon me on that. Good evening, Board, President Lopez, school board members, Superintendent Mendez, school administrators, teachers, and community members. My name is Emmanuel Lopez, and I am the Associated Student Body President at Farmsville High School. It is my pleasure to be here tonight as a representative of the entire student body at FHS. Tonight, I would like to share some activities happening at Farmsville High School. In athletics, boys soccer and boys wrestling are undefeated in league with a league record of 4-0. Girls soccer and girls basketball are tied for second in their league play with a record of 3-1. Another exciting news, one of our girls basketball players, Janessa Garza, is currently competing for Athlete of the Week in the Visalia Times and is currently winning. Please go vote for her on the Visalia Times website. For the last announcement in athletics, all winter sports teams have a combined overall GPA of 3.0. This includes both JV and varsity players. Way to go, Aztecs. In extracurricular, there will be a winter sports rally on Friday, the 31st of January. It has been planned by our amazing ASB and leadership students. It will be a mix of games and fun. Our FHS counselors will be having a FAFSA workshop on January 29th, which is tomorrow. PK classes have begun at FHS and will continue every Wednesday until March 5th. For our seniors, they will be taking their graduation pictures on February 11th, and grad night tickets are on sale for scheduled grad night event on Friday, May 9th. In closing, I would like to thank the school board and Superintendent Mendez for the opportunity to share the great things happening at Farmsville High School. Go Aztecs!
All right, thank you. Okay, moving on to 8.0, public comments. Members of the public may address the board on any agenda item or other item of interest within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board before or during the governing board's consideration of the item. The board is not able to discuss or take action on any item not appearing on the agenda. Pursuant to board policy, the board may limit individual comments to no more than 3 minutes and individual topics to 20 minutes. Please begin your comments by stating your name.
The board asks that during public comment, everyone be respectful of the speakers. Members of the public should not interrupt or interject while another person is giving their public comment. During public comments, there shall be no use of foul language. Should a member of the public have a concern about a specific employee, we ask that you direct those concerns to myself after the meeting so that the concerns can be handled through the proper procedures. Please do not use employee or student names during public comments. School board, we do have 3. The first one is Julie McIntosh. Agenda item is 14.0 through 14.2.
Good evening, board members, district employees, parents, and members of the public. I'm Julie McIntosh, and I am a teacher in Farmersville Unified School District. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the winners of the last election, since I have not yet had the opportunity to do so. As you may know, our district has been narrowing to its laser focus on one area of professional development, and you'll see the connection in a few minutes. Use of data to inform our decisions. Our district leaders have spent several years in county-led CIE training, where we've been guided through the process of learning how to make district and site decisions on the basis of what the data tells us, not just on what we guess will work or based on which company has the best presentation or price. District and site leaders have spent the last year and a half being trained in the PLC process and rolling that out to the department and grade level teams. That training is all about teams of teachers using data to inform instruction. I've had the privilege of being personally involved in this process, first at the classroom, next at the site, and now at the district level. Despite having had a language instruction focus and training, I've become an enthusiastic advocate for using data to make decisions based on the experiences and results that I have witnessed, hence my t-shirt. Without data, it's just an opinion. The focus on using data for all of these levels, from district decisions down to day-to-day instructions, is backed by some of the most extensive and overwhelmingly clear research on how to improve education. I'm speaking to you tonight as you have a very important decision to make that will affect all levels of the district. Who should be appointed to fill the vacant position of school board member? Rather than relying only on written applications, few references, or even a person's ability to make the best impression in an interview, you have concrete data to consider. In the November 2024 election, Cynthia Godwin was the candidate with the highest votes out of the remaining candidates who were not elected. For that reason, I urge you to choose her to fill the position based on what the people of Farmersville said in the last election. Thank you.
School board, our second request is Miss Nora Alstead, open board position.
Didn't sound like it broke, just sounded like it bounced. Hi, my name is Nora Alstead. I teach at both Hester and Snowden. School board members, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you. Mr. Mendez and both staff and guests tonight. First, I do want to say thank you all for registering for the school board dinner. I told Mr. Dybus I had to be allowed to go. It's going to be a great, great evening. Now, Julie gave you data. I'm going to say this. I understand running a special election is very costly for a district. I 100% agree with filling our open board seat in this manner. I just encourage you to look at somebody who did go through that process of running. Okay, you all have all run before. You know it's not an easy process to do. The folks of Farmersville did put some backing into Ms. Godwin, and I'd like you to really consider her as our next school board member. Thank you.
School Board, we do have our third request, Mr. Richard Dybus, open board seat.
Hi, how's it going? It's been a while. Hi, my name is Richard Dybus. I'm the athletic director at Farmersville High School and president of Farmersville Teachers Association. I'm here tonight to talk about the appointment of our open board member position. I believe Cynthia Godwin's the right choice for this spot. FTA endorsed Cynthia in the most recent election. However, my belief goes far beyond that. Cynthia finished right behind the elected candidates in the past 2 elections, showing that she does have support from the Farmersville community and has been willing to run the race. She's an avid member of the community, supporting Farmersville youth sports in many capacities and previously serving on school site councils. Her children attend our schools and are active members of our student body as well. Most importantly, though, Cynthia is not going to just rubber stamp anything while on the board. I know this because I've seen it firsthand. Last year, during a somewhat contentious meeting, I found myself on the opposite side of the table from Cynthia. Through this process, I saw that she advocated for every student's protection and safety. The biggest point she made, and I believe this is the proof, is that she was there, despite her daughter not being directly affected, to argue on behalf of the entire team to help support improvement that would benefit the students and staff in the situation. Above all else, she wanted a positive solution to be found. She was not demeaning or demanding. She was fair and showed that she would listen to all sides while making informed points. Cynthia is what we need on the board, an individual who will hear out the community, administration, classified staff, certificated staff, and most importantly, student voices, and then make decisions based on what's best for our students. Cynthia is the choice to help our board move Farmersville forward and continue to build the schools our students truly deserve. Thank you.
Those are the 3 comments or comment cards that we have.
Okay, thank you. 8.1, superintendent comments.
Yes, good evening. I want to express my gratitude to all Farmersville Unified School District staff for their dedication to continuously providing effective instruction and learning opportunities for Farmersville Unified School students. We've been emphasizing from day one the collaboration among our students, our staff, our parents, our community partners to foster a vibrant educational environment. This semester, we're working together to improve learning conditions across the district. Our main goal is to create a smooth alignment of instruction from TK through 12th grade. By collaborating, we strengthen our dedication to meeting the needs of our community and driving meaningful, impactful change. We always end with this: great things are happening in Farmersville, and we're gonna Farmersville up. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Mendez. Going on to 9.0, people to be heard. 9.1, approval of facility use request for Central Valley Scholastic Chess Association, CVSCA, for Farmersville Junior High School gym on Saturday, February 1st, 2025.
Motion
Oh, second.
for discussion, if that's what you're saying.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. There's questions? Is there, did somebody say they had a question?
No, if there's questions,
Oh, okay.
first and second, motion for
Okay.
questions.
There being no questions, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? What is the motion, Mr. Alvarez?
To approve the use of the gym,
And all fees?
yes.
Who is the second?
Sabrina.
Sabrina.
I was just like, I didn't know we were gonna have someone present. That's
Yeah.
why we were just
Oh,
sitting
that's
here.
right. That's okay.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
We don't have
We're good.
questions.
We're good.
we're good. Okay.
Yeah, we, thank you for continuing to bring this.
Okay, all fees
Yes.
waived. Okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-0. 10.0, K8 issues. 10.1, Farmersville Junior High School student recognition.
Now we have,
Now we have a presentation.
yeah.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Chris Sanchez, and I'm the proud principal at Farmersville Junior High School. You know, I had something written down, but I see our FFA students here, and I know they're amazing speakers. so no pressure. But you know, I was like, I'm gonna put my phone away and you know, dedicate this to them because they're awesome. Thank you, board members, for this opportunity. Thank you, everyone, Farmersville staff, families along. We appreciate it. This is the best part right here in recognizing our students. And before I introduce a family and what's going on outside of the classroom, I just want to stress how important I feel this is. And feel free, Mr. Mendez, to give me a nod because I can go on and on about this, about our community giving back. In a moment, we'll introduce a family, like I said, that is excelling, particularly on the football field, and we need to recognize those moments. Those are wins that we need to see and celebrate, because I feel strongly that they attribute to our tradition, they attribute to our culture, and what are going to continue to lay the foundation of our growing community. So with that being said, and to talk a little bit more about it, I want to introduce the Calderon family and the representing the family, Mr. Alexander Calderon and Mr. Eden Calderon.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you for everyone that donated and helped me reach my goal as an All-American.
Alex Calderon, teacher at Farmersville High, weight training. My nephew Eden, he's excelling when it comes to football. The All-American, it was very kind of not last minute, but it hit us by surprise. Basically what that was is there was 50 eighth graders in the whole nation that got selected, and Eden was fortunate enough to get selected as one. So we flew to South Carolina. It was during the holidays. It was chaos, but it was totally worth it. So again, I would kind of piggyback on what Eden said. I want to thank everybody that did donate and shared. There's a lot of people, even if it was $2, I had former students literally donate $2, and everything was appreciated. Fortunate enough, they played 2 games over there. They did fairly well, but I think the most important thing here was that he was able to get scouted out by a well-recognized scout over there in the South Carolina. They wrote a whole article on him, and he's actually had a couple of colleges already reach out to us and ask about Eden and stuff. He's a big boy. We're a small family. I'm only 5'6". I don't know where he gets his size from. He just turned 14 in December, and he's right now, I think, sitting at 6'3", 245, which is important when it comes to football. He plays on the line, obviously. Just to kind of piggyback on that, he was also able to make a team that's called the Island's Best. If you guys are familiar with youth football, it is a very well-recognized team here in the Valley. Not just in the Valley, but it's a well-known Polynesian Bowl, what they call, so a bunch of Samoans, big kids. I was so intimidated when we got there. But anyways, he was able to play with the 14U. And my brother, my sister, I mean, my wife, my mom, everyone kind of helped out. We didn't know that he qualified to play for the 12U because of his because of his birthday. So we get there and we see these enormous kids in the Central Valley, and long story longer, it was a bunch of high schoolers. And he was fortunate enough to be one of the only 8th graders on that team. He was playing with very well-known kids here in the Valley, not just himself. I mean, it was an all-star team. A couple of kids from Visalia, one to be exact. I don't know if you guys know him. Cadillac led the league as a freshman in yards. The running back from Redwood, which led the league in rushing yards. So this was an all-star team. So it was kind of last minute again. The coach kind of he actually reached out to the coach. He made it upon himself to reach out to the coach to give him a shot. And he did. And we went out there to practice, and crazy thing is that we only had 2 practices because at the time we were preparing to go to South Carolina for the All-American game. So we had to change the plans from South Carolina. Instead of coming to Fresno, we went from South Carolina to Vegas because that's where the Polynesian Bowl was. So there it's the best of the best, by far the best competition Eden has ever faced. They played against Utah, against Texas, against what are the ones that you guys? Vegas. I mean, Hawaii. Hawaii was there. Big kids, huge. So him only having 2 practices in, we honestly didn't think he wasn't even going to get playing time. Me and my brother spoke, and we're like, even him practicing with the boys and just being around that atmosphere is huge. So we went into the tournament thinking he wasn't going to get any playing time, which we were fine with. Eden will say he wasn't, but he was intimidated, when, especially when we went to Fresno and seen this big old dudes. They made him look normal size, which is not normal, right? So we get to the Polynesian Bowl in Vegas, and first game comes. They were fortunate enough to play 4 games. The first game comes, and he played the third and fourth quarter. Second game, he played the second, third, and fourth. And the last 2, he was a starter and finished the game. Which that was such a proud moment as an uncle, and I'm sure it was the same for my brother and my mom and my sister that were there and my wife. That he honestly, I mean, it sucks to say it this way, but it is a competition within a competition, and he ended up beating a sophomore out of that starting job with only having 2 practices in. So it was pretty amazing. The coaches were super impressed with Eden and asked him to make sure that we take him back next year to go represent the Central Valley. So that's a little bit about what happened during the whole South Carolina All-American. Again, we want to thank everybody that donated, that posted. Without you guys, none of that would have happened, because, I mean, it was pretty expensive. It was pretty expensive. Thank you, Sanchez. Appreciate you. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Who's gonna take a picture?
And then just a little something from the junior high and Mr. Dibus. Don't forget about this F right here.
Chris, I'll send these to you.
Wonderful moments.
That's, it takes a village for sure, and our communities come together to help, so. And I think that's a perfect example of Farmers Will Up.
Exactly.
Amen. All right.
All right.
Go.
Keep it up.
So, my question was, I just have a question. How many times were you asked, where is Farmersville?
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
It's on the map now.
And
There you go.
Bakersfield in the middle.
Yep. So from what I heard from the story is that you reached out to the coach, right, to make that opportunity happen. And I think that's the biggest part of the story is taking your chance, you know. And I know that we come from Farmersville, and sometimes we don't think we deserve those chances. But seeing your story, I think it should show all the students, hey, we're all worth it. We're all capable. And, like, the fact that you're an 8th grader and you made it up there, like, that's a miracle and a blessing. And definitely keep it up.
All righty.
For sure.
Mr. Albers, you have any?
I'm just proud,
Yeah.
you know, to see your kids do things like this. It's proud moments. I can only imagine how Dad feels. I'm sure you're much bigger than your dad, probably, right? Yeah. So keep up the good work, and I hope we don't lose you to Exeter, okay? You stick around.
Oh, no. We're gonna keep tabs on him.
Yeah, we're gonna keep tabs on you.
You have any?
Always thankful. I think Farmersville Unified School District produces some of the hardest working, blue collar, full of grit students and even adults. And we have a lot of great things that are happening. I think it's very important that we take the time, you know, the podium, every opportunity, social media, to make sure that we emphasize the great things that are happening. So thank you very much, Calderon family. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to 10.2, approval of World Ag Expo on February 13th, 2025 at International Agri Center, Tulare, California.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Freddie Espinoza. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 10.3, approval of ASB leadership trip to Crypto Arena on April 3rd, 2025 at Los Angeles, California.
Motion.
Second with a comment. Do you need a chaperone?
We have a motion by Freddie Espinoza, second by Sabrina Gomez. Are there any questions or additional comments? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 10.4, approval of Farmersville Junior High School to FFA Leadership Conference on April 3rd through 6th, 2025 at Sacramento, California.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 11.0, high school issues. 11.1, approval of FHS Sequoia Sectional Speaking Contest on February 4th, 2025 at Mission Oak High School, Tulare, California.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Sabrina Gomez, second by Freddie Espinoza. Are there any questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 11.2, approval of FHS FFA to Cal Poly 2025 state finals on May 2nd through 3rd, 2025 at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Freddie Espinoza, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 11.3, approval of FHS CTE to Kings County Coroner's Office on February 12th, 2025 at Hanford, California.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions, concerns, comments?
I questioned this one, but then I read what it's about, so. Why are we going to the coroner's office, but,
CTE pathway.
yes.
I watch Bones all the time, so it's
Yeah.
okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried for all. 11.4, approval of FHS Residential Comm Construction to World Ag Expo on February 13th, 2025 at Tulare, California.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Sabrina Gomez, second by Freddie Espinoza. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
11.5, approval of FHS Residential Comm Construction to Visalia Ceramic Tile in May 2025 at Visalia, California.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 11.6, approval of FHS Key Club to assist Food Link with food distribution on January 29th, 2025 at Farmersville, California.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Freddie Espinoza, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 11.7, approval of FHS residential construction to COS Career Expo on April 4th, 2025 in Visalia, California.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Freddie Espinoza. Is that correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 11.8, approval of FHS residential construction to COS CTE tour in April/May 2025 in Visalia, California.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 11.9, approval of FHS residential construction to Reedley College in April/May 2025 in Reedley, California.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Freddie Espinoza, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 11.10, approval of FHS CTE Public Safety to COS, I'm starting to dry up here, COS/Tulare campus on April 4th, 2025.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Freddie Espinoza. Is that correct?
Yes,
Correct.
ma'am.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 11.11, approval of FHS Key Club presentation to Farmersville Junior High School on January 30th, 2025.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Sabrina Gomez, second by Freddie Espinoza. Is that correct?
Correct.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 11.12, FHS FFA presentation.
I walk faster than them, so I'm excited to share more great things happening in our Farmersville High School, and I'm going to do as little talking as I can, and they're going to do that. So go ahead and introduce yourselves. I'm Audrey Westbrook, though.
My name is Hernan Robles, and I serve as the Farmersville chapter treasurer.
My name is Ulysses Garcia, and I am your historian.
My name's Karina Rita, and I'm this year's chapter secretary.
Hello, I'm Daniela Renteria, and I am this year's reporter.
Hello, my name is Genesis Juarez, and I'm this year's vice president.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sarah Garcia, and I currently serve as the chapter president. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Alrighty. Well, I would just like to start off on behalf of myself and the officer team. Thank you for having us tonight, and thank you for allowing us to present just a little bit of our events and of our last semester. So let's go ahead and get started. So I will be talking about Changemaker Summit. This is a conference specifically designed for senior FFA members that emphasize career skills, agricultural issues, and personal development in the workplace.
So Officer Retreat was a two-day event held over the summer, which consisted the officer team in planning this year's events, such as FFA meetings, fundraisers, and much more. Not only was this event for the purpose of planning, but also for our officers to participate in team-building activities as well as bonding.
At our first FFA meeting, we organized several water games and featured a water slide. Both new and returning members had the opportunity to meet and start getting to know one another.
At our second FFA meeting, it was the September meeting, and we had the opportunity to tie-dye our chapter t-shirts and was able to enjoy raspados, which was shaved ice.
The Sectional Officer Leadership Conference was held in September and consisted of 6 sectional officer teams navigating through leadership workshop events together as a team. Ultimately, the teams had the opportunity to listen to keynote speeches by the state FFA officers. Additionally, the officers prepared for their year of service and received our FFA jackets. This year, Farmersville FFA had 2 officers attend as sectional officers, those being both Genesis and myself.
At the Tulare County Fair, this year we had 20 exhibitors. We had our rabbits, poultry, swine, lambs, goats, and our beef heifer and dairy heifer. Luckily this year, two our chicken people were reserve and grand champion this year.
And our chapter officer leadership conference was also held in September and consisted of 6 leadership workshops and events for over 13 chapter officer teams. Ultimately, the officer teams had the opportunity to cultivate connections with other fellow officers as well as prepare for their year of service, ultimately allowing them to enhance their leadership skills. This year, the events and workshops were facilitated by both Genesis and I.
Following that, we have our Sequoia Ag Olympics. This Olympics, we had the opportunity to not only go as a chapter, but also represent our chapter in a sectional level, meeting other chapters here locally in the Tulare County. We were able to enjoy games such as axe throwing and volleyball.
It's a good combination.
At our October meeting, we organized a friendly pumpkin carving contest, and this event was a collaborative meeting with the Farmersville Junior High chapter. The Green Hand Leadership Conference is a conference specifically designed for first-year FFA members. This is so they can develop leadership skills and discover their interests within agriculture and build a sense of belonging within the FFA community. COS New Member Field Day. Freshmen were able to learn from workshops. In these rotations, they learned CDE judging such as horse, cow, cotton, and plant judging. They learned many leadership skills that will be able to use in different conferences. The Sequoia Opening and Closing Contest was held on October 15th in Tulare, took 2 Green Hand teams, 3 open teams, and our officer team. This year, Ulysses Garcia and Elia Garcia won Outstanding President in their class, as well as Sarah Garcia won Outstanding President in all of our officer teams. We also had an open team win first in their room. National FFA Convention, a conference held at Indianapolis every October where FFA members from across the U.S. meet. This year, we had 2 national FFA band members go, those being Genesis Juarez, as well as Emmanuel Campos. They were able to present in front of 5,000 attendees. Another member attended as a national delegate, that being Sarah Garcia, as well as Kaylee Variel receiving her American degree this year. Thank you.
Our next meeting was held in November. At this meeting, we had our members participate in a contest of volleyball, and our winning teams received prizes.
During the month of November, 5 individuals had the opportunity to attend a agricultural banking competition at El Diamante High School. After the competition, the team placed high, and Camila Negrete placing 4th high individual.
Next is our Veterans Day flag setup/cleanup. We had took some members to the Deep Creek Memorial Cemetery to set up flags to honor those who have served before Veterans Day. And the Tuesday after Veterans Day, we had took some more members to pick up those flags we had set up.
Nice.
During our December meeting, we organized a friendly gingerbread building contest, and members were just given 30 minutes to complete their houses, and then were evaluated by a panel of 3 staff members.
This is a list of the following events that will be performed by the Farmersville FFA chapter this year.
Really quickly, just to kind of go over that really quickly, we have monthly meetings. Our sectional and regional meetings will be coming up, I believe, in March. Our citrus state finals, vet, science, as well as floral CDE teams. Our final citrus competition will be taking place this Saturday at Fresno State, so we hope that this citrus judging team does really well. National FFA Week will also be coming up February 18th through the 21st. We are currently still planning those dates and events, but hopefully we can get those out very soon for our students and staff to participate. MFE and ALA, as well as SLE and state leadership conferences will also be coming up in the future. Prepared speaking, creed speaking, as well as job interview, extemporaneous, and other public speaking events will also take place next week at Mission Oak, as well as our, BIG and cooperative marketing contest will take place soon. And then we also have additional community service events coming up for students to participate. And lastly, our Point Award trip at the end of our year. All right, so that concludes our presentation. Again, on behalf of myself and the officer team, we would like to thank you for allowing us to be here tonight and present our activities and events for you all.
They're not good at bragging about themselves, and Genesis has been selected. She submitted an application for state office, so she'll be running for state office this year. Sarah was selected to move on for job interview, and Hernan has won our sectional diversified livestock proficiency and will be competing. Well, his application has to be submitted by noon on Friday. Remember noon on Friday? And so he'll be competing for regional diversified livestock, hopefully to state. Fingers and toes crossed. What am I missing? Oh, yes, absolutely. So Hernan, Genesis, and Sarah all applied for Sacramento Leadership Experience. It's 75 students, and both Genesis and Sarah were selected. A lot of firsts for me. Like, I've never had I've never had an American degree until this year. I've never had students run for state office. So they're really bad at bragging on themselves, but they're just an amazing group of students. So we're blessed to work with them for sure. Do you guys have any questions or anything?
Would it be okay for our school board to take a picture with this amazing team?
As long as I'm not in it.
We would love that both yourself and Miss Moran also participate, since your hands are a part of all the great things that are happening in Farmersville.
Definitely.
Yes?
Okay.
On part that one too?
Yep, let's do it.
As they're getting ready, I do want to say I've heard two amazing people. First of all, your principal at Farmersville High School brag about FFA and all the great things that are happening at Bonus meetings. But I've also heard the Superintendent's Consortium, other superintendents talking about the great things that are happening at Farmersville. So it's good to know that.
Nobody bites. Try to squeeze it a little bit. Maybe angle it a little bit. Get everybody in there. Okay, I'm going to be smiling. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Again, students like this, the teachers that are committed, really make our school district look great. We are not only being placed on the map by all these students, we're getting heard over other states, correct?
Correct.
Because these are our leaders here, our future leaders, so I'm so proud of you. Thank you for being who you are.
Thank you.
This is where the name Farmersville really comes in handy, you know, for the FFA. Sure.
Everybody
No pun
pictures
intended.
farms all around here,
Yeah,
right?
we got farmers.
Thank you much for coming tonight. We'll go ahead and move on then to 11.13, approval of FFA meeting at Roller Town on February 20th, 2025 at Visalia, California.
Motion?
Second?
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Freddie Espinoza. Is that correct?
Yes.
Correct.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-all. 11.14, approval of FHS Key Club Community Service at Valley Oak SPCA for school year 2024 through 2025 at Visalia, California.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Sabrina Gomez, second by John Alvarez. Is that correct?
Yes.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-all. 11.15, approval of FHS Key Club Community Service at Visalia Rescue Mission for school year 2024 through 2025.
Motion?
Second.
We have a motion by Freddie Espinoza, second by Sabrina Gomez. Is that correct?
Correct.
Any questions?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-all. 11.16, approval of Made for Excellence Conference and Advanced Leadership Academy on February 7th through 8th, 2025 at Modesto, California.
Motion.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion by Sabrina Gomez, second by Freddie Espinoza. Are there any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-all. 11.17, approval of Floral/Vet Tech Judging Career Development Competitions on March 1st, 2025, March 15th, 2025, March 22nd, 2025, and April 12th, 2025 at Danuba High School, Modesto Junior College, Clovis High School, and Fresno State University.
Motion?
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-all. 11.18, approval of FHS Ag to World Ag Expo on February 12th, 2025 at COS Tulare.
Motion?
Second.
We have a motion by Freddie Espinoza, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-all. 11.19, approval of Sequoia Section Best Informed Green Hand and Cooperative Marketing Contest on February 26th, 2025 at Tulare, California.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Sabrina Gomez, second by John Alvarez. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-all. 11.20, approval of FHS FFA to Porterville High School Sequoia Sectional Meeting/Activity on March 26, 2025 at Porterville, California.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Sabrina Gomez, second by Freddie Espinoza. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 4-all. 11.21, approval of 2025 California State FFA Leadership Conference on April 3rd through 6th, 2025 at Sacramento, California.
Motion.
Second.
John Alvarez.
Yeah, we have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 11.22, approval of close-up Washington DC trip on April 13th through 18th, 2025.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 12.0, curriculum. 12.1, approval of 2024 school accountability report cards, SARCs.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Freddie Espinoza, second by John Alvarez. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 12.2, approval of ethnic studies course outline.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 12.3, approval of memorandum of understanding, Alliant International University, FUSD.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Freddie Espinoza, second by Sabrina Gomez. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 13.0, personnel. 13.1, approval of certificated personnel, item 13.1.1.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Freddie Espinoza. Are there any questions?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 13.2, approval of classified personnel, item 13.2.1 through item 13.2.4.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 13.3, approval of extracurricular activities / coaching personnel, item 13.3.1 through item 13.3.5.
Motion.
Second. Freddie.
Freddie?
Mm-hmm.
We have a motion by Freddie Espinoza, second by Sabrina Gomez. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
We have a 3-0-1
Yes.
with Mr. Alvarez abstaining. (13.4), personnel action report, information only. There shouldn't be a motion under there.
No motion.
There's no motion on that, it's just
Information
information. 13.5, approval of reading specialist job description.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Are there any questions?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 13.6, approval of VAPA coordinator job description.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 13.7, approval of percussion coach job description.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Freddie Espinoza. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried for all. 14.0, board business. 14.1, interview of applicants for appointment to board vacancy. At this time, I'm going to pass this over to our Secretary of the Board, Mr. Superintendent Mendez.
Thank you, Board President Alice Lopez. Good evening. The Farmersville Unified School District is excited to interview 2 candidates for the open board position. Our hope is that by the end of our school board meeting this evening, we will be welcoming and completing our 5-member school board. Under the Brown Act, all persons, including candidates for a board appointment, have a right to attend a public session of the board. At the same time, the board may request, but not require, the other candidate to remain outside of the meeting room until after they are interviewed. At this moment, the school board is requesting that during the interview process, one of the candidates for the open school board position step into the conference room until after they are interviewed. The order of interview will follow the time of school board application submission. Mr. Merced Zamora III submitted his school board application first, so will be interviewed first. The school board cordially requests the school board applicant, Ms. Cynthia Godwin, to step into the conference room until it is time for her to interview. So each school board member has selected 2 questions to ask each applicant. The school board members will ask their 2 questions from our right to left. And it is imperative that we ask the same questions without deviation to both applicants. Board Member Espinoza, you will have the opportunity to start first. We will welcome Mr. Merced Zamora III to the podium.
Do we like him to give an intro first and then to the questions?
Sure. Mr. Zamora, would you like to give yourself a quick introduction?
Yes, I do.
Perfect.
Good evening. Members of the Farmersville School Board, staff, community members. My name is Merced Zamora. I am here today to express my strong interest to serve in the Farmersville School Board. As a lifelong member of the community and a proud product of its educational system, I am deeply committed to contribute to the growth and success of the school board. Having attended schools in our town and participated as a student in the migrant program, I have firsthand understanding and the unique challenges and opportunities facing our students. My wife and I are raising 8 beautiful kids, and in the next year, we will have 6 of them attending the following schools: at Hester, at Snowden, at Freedom, at the junior high, and 2 at the high school. This personal connection motivates me to ensure that every child in Farmersville has the access and the resources they need in order to succeed. My education and professional background will help me bring a well-rounded perspective to the board. With hard work and the support of my teachers, family, and friends, I attended UC Santa Barbara, where I obtained my bachelor's in law and society. I also went to Cal State Long Beach, where I obtained my master's in criminal justice administration. I have dedicated the last 19 years of my professional career serving the residents of Tulare County. As a sheriff sergeant with the Tulare County Sheriff's Department, I've had the privilege to serve in various assignments, from detentions to investigations. I've had the responsibility to oversee government grants, budget, recruitment, and addressing sheriff personnel issues regarding policy and procedures. These roles refine my skills in leadership, problem solving, and collaboration with essential qualities, which I believe are essential qualities for an effective school board trustee. Additionally, I have actively been involved in my community for over 7 years as a soccer coach, fostering teamwork, discipline among our youth. Living in Farmersville and working closely with families and children in various capacities has reinforced my commitment to creating an inclusive, high-quality educational environment. I am confident that my experiences, both personal and professional, are aligned with the needs of the Farmersville School Board. I am eager to contribute my time, perspective, and support the students, families, teachers to achieve their goals. Thank you for considering my application. I would welcome the opportunity to discuss how my background and dedication to my community could benefit the board and our community.
Mr. Freddie Espinoza, you will begin from right to left.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Zamora, for joining us today and filling out the application. We really appreciate it. So the first question we have for you is, what do you see as strengths of the school district? Yeah. What do you see as strengths of the school district right now?
The strength is the commitment. We all have the same goal. We might have different paths how to get there, but ultimately it's the same goal. We're here for the children. We're here for the success of the kids. We want them to go to university. And if the university is not their choice, we want them to establish a trade so they could be able to grow up and be successful individuals. I think that's the ultimate goal that every parent has for their kid. And as a school board, we're here to make sure that that does, go into practice, and we could, help along the way to achieve that goal for that child that's attending school.
Definitely. How does the school board ensure opportunities for parents and community members?
Providing resources, or even explaining that the resources are there. One of the biggest things that we have is lack of communication or even knowledge of certain programs. So I think it's essential for us to make sure that we're able to communicate with the community to express what's available for them. Again, being in the migrant program, my mom had no idea what the migrant program was, but there was people there that facilitated, because they would always be going from here to Washington every year to go work in the fields. I didn't know what the migrant program was, but there was people established in place that would help me and my siblings to make sure that we didn't fall behind in school. And I think that's one of the essential parts of the school board, to make sure that if there is somebody in need, that we do provide those services.
Thanks. Okay. I have a couple of questions. What do you hope to accomplish on the school board?
I think it's a different perspective. I think we all have different perspective of what everybody does. It's more involvement. I'm here for the long run. I will have a child enrolled nonstop in Farmersville School District for the next 19 years. If that doesn't explain my commitment, because we have a 3-month-old, I'm here for the long run. I'm invested. We have a little bit too many kids to go anywhere else, so definitely involved and invested not only in my community but also in the school system.
Next question. What is the key to a child's success?
A key to a child's success? My dad always said, "Échale ganas." You have to put effort into it. And I'm not saying that I want to leave certain children behind, but ultimately it's a collective good for everybody. You have to have it in you to keep on going, and we need that support within that child's circle to help them get there and believe that they can. I never believed I could go to school and get my master's. I was picking grapes every summer with my parents. The last thing on my mind was go to school. But yet I had those people around me, those teachers that believed in me and pushed me. And, thanks to them, I am where I'm at today.
It's my turn.
Hello.
So I wish my questions were reversed, but I'll ask them in the order that we have them. What questions do you have for the board to help you prepare to take on this commitment?
I would say give me as much information and knowledge Believe me, I was searching the website, everything I could possibly could to know what entails. I have a general idea what the board does, but there's a lot of stuff that's not on the website that the board does. So it's a lot of, I can't sit here and say this is what I expect, because being realistic, I have no idea the involvement that you guys are, committed to doing. Because there's a lot that you guys do behind the scenes that, you can't share, or it's not necessarily common knowledge for the public or anybody else within the community. But you definitely take the heat when things don't go right.
Okay, what do you see as the areas most needing improvement in the school district?
I think it's perspective to the individual. It all depends who you ask that question to. I was reading a couple of articles, and I understand that teachers do have a concern. They have a concern that they are the lowest paid, according to the statistics, was about 6%, which equals about to maybe $5 less an hour than other schools. I understand their concerns were also regarding the fire extinguishers or fire alarms not working properly, but I know that the school district made an issue to try to fix those things. So again, that's the teacher's perspective. Student perspectives, all the way from possibly not going to a university because we're losing our accreditation with the high school, but I know that my wife is in that committee. They're working hard to make sure that doesn't happen, so they do have the opportunity to go to university if they want. Children's perspective, they want to be safe. They want to be able to school. They want to make sure that somebody else doesn't hit them, doesn't bully them, all the way from online bullying to school bullying. And teachers want a safe environment. They don't want troublemakers that are continually disrupting class or preventing the opportunity for them to provide a good education to the student. So issues could be many, but ultimately we have the same goal. It doesn't matter. All the ones that I explained, everybody has one goal, the success of the student, and how do we get there?
How do you approach conflict resolution when you disagree with a colleague or team member on a project? Can you give an example?
Sure. So I guess one of the benefits is I am also the sergeant in charge of the hostage negotiating team of Tulare County. So for the past 13 years, I've been a hostage negotiator or crisis intervention. So the department has actually gave me a quite bit training on how to deal with stress situations. Ultimately, everybody has a goal. Everybody wants to get there, but it's how do you get there? I don't say it's convincing, but it's communication. You have to communicate. You have to talk about what's the end goal, and then discuss how to get there.
One more. How do you ensure that you remain objective and unbiased when making decisions that affect students, particularly when personal opinions or feelings may be involved?
Yeah. Just like explained a little bit earlier, I think it's the ultimate good for the most. We want to make sure that, we do provide that help or the services for everybody. But I believe that with everything, we reach a point where we tried absolutely everything. And if we continue, we're neglecting the other ones. For example, as a supervisor, they say that you invest 80% of your time dealing with certain staff that are always giving you problems, and you only devote, less than 10 to those that excel. But if you keep on devoting all this time that you have to those that, are your troublemakers, then you start neglecting those that are excelling. So you have to make sure that you're broadly providing the services to everybody, and they don't, feel left behind.
Thank you, Mr. Zamora. Those are our 8 questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, board. Thank you, community. Do I go back in that room or do I wait?
You have the ability, because this was the first hand, but if you would like, that way we keep it as even as possible. It would be nice if you did go back into that room, but you don't have to because there are only 2 candidates.
Hi, Cynthia.
Hi.
So
How are
each-
you?
Good.
Each school board member has selected 2 questions
Okay.
to ask each applicant. The school board members will ask their 2 questions from our right to our left. It is imperative that we ask the same questions without deviation to both applicants. Board member Espinoza will begin to ask his questions. If you would like, you can do a quick introduction.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Cynthia Godwin. Most know me as Janessa's mom or Josiah's mom. I have 3 children who attended school within the district. I often hear from others that they are surprised I am so involved or passionate about our students, being that I am so quiet. But the truth is, I like to observe everything around me. Being outspoken does not get the job done. My actions do. When my oldest son, Daniel, started kindergarten, I spent countless hours in his class volunteering my time and assisting the teacher with whatever I could. Then Janessa started school, and there I was in her classroom. I would spend 1 day a week in hers and 1 day a week in Daniel's. Then they both got to the age where having mom in their class was no longer fun. I had to find other ways to be involved, which included being present at school functions, meetings, or simply emailing the teacher, letting them know that if there was ever a need in the classroom, to please reach out. Then middle school and high school came around, and I was back at it, volunteering for tournaments, getting parents involved in feeding the football team every Thursday, or sometimes it was just buying a kid equipment so they could participate in the sports. And with Janessa soon to be graduating, I asked myself, will I be satisfied with just volunteering for Josiah? And the answer is no. That is the reason I ran the last 2 elections. I want to help students in Farmersville. I am tired of seeing our district struggle with meeting state standards and losing kids to other districts. I won't get into my career quite yet because I'm hoping I can tie it into some of the interview questions.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Godwin. Mr. Espinoza, you have 2 questions. You may begin.
Yep. So the 2 questions we have here are, what do you see as strengths of the school district?
I believe we're moving in the right direction. Having a kid that graduated 2 years ago and seeing where we've come now, I've seen tremendous improvements. I've seen improvements in our safety, our student safety. I've seen improvements in just students' interaction, not afraid to get out there and try new things.
How does the school board ensure opportunities for parents and community members?
The school board is elected by the community. So you guys are the voice of the community. Being able to get out there and talk to the community, being at school functions, interacting with parents, it goes a long way.
What do you hope to accomplish on the school board?
So in my current job, I'm the community resource analyst for Corcoran State Prison. I get to attend various school sites within Kings County. So I would like to bring some of those visions that I see that works for smaller communities out there to Farmersville to see at least ideas. Ideas of, can we do that? Will it work? Will it better our students?
And next question is, what is the key to a child's success?
Following their dreams, being passionate about what they're about to do in life. My oldest son, Daniel, he set this goal when he was in kindergarten, that he was never going to miss a day of school, regardless of the circumstances. I got calls from the office saying he was sick. I would say, can you make him go home? Because I sure can't. And that was him. He was passionate about his desire to have perfect attendance. He set that goal in kindergarten and maintained it all through high school. He never missed a day. And he set it in kindergarten because he wanted to go to Stanford. And so he asked me, what's it going to take for me to stand out? And he came up with that. And I let him follow his dream.
What questions do you have for the board to help you prepare to take on this commitment?
I guess I would just ask the do's and don'ts. That would be my first question for you guys. I think I would have more questions if I was elected because I would be sitting there reading the agenda packet, and then I would be asking questions.
What do you see as the areas most needing improvement in the school district?
The biggest thing is communication. We lack sometimes communication. I work at a prison. I don't have the privilege of having my cell phone with me for 8 hours of the day. When I'm not notified that my youngest is getting an award until the day of, somebody dropped the ball. Parents need to be notified in advance so that they can plan accordingly and be there and show up to school sites for events.
Okay. How do you approach conflict resolution when you disagree with a colleague or team member on a project? Can you give an example?
I listen. I'm one that's gonna listen. I'm not gonna come in thinking my way's the only way, because there's always various ways to the solution. So I'm gonna listen, and I'm gonna give everybody the chance to explain why they chose that. And I would explain why I feel different. But working together is the main thing. An example of this is sometimes my boss and I, we don't see eye to eye. I'm in a community resource job. The title alone says, I need to be out in the community. We need to be giving back. She's done it for so long that she doesn't want to do it. She says, do we really need to? That's what our office is about. So it's just approaching her and letting her know that, hey, if you don't feel like going out there today, let me go. I'll come back and I'll fill you in with what their needs are, what they're asking.
Okay, last question. How do you ensure that you remain objective and unbiased when making decisions that affect students, particularly when personal opinions or feelings may be involved?
I just try to look at what's best for our students. I'm not going to take my opinion. My opinion's not always going to be right. I'm going to take everybody's opinion. I want to hear from parents. I want to hear their concerns. And I need to know that every student's different and everybody's opinion is going to be different on any matter. But it's just working together and coming up with the best possible solution for our students.
That concludes the interview process. You may take a seat.
Thank you.
Godwin? So the two interviews for the open school board position are complete. The request is to move to 14.2, selection of provisional appointee to fill the board vacancy. During this time, our board will have the opportunity to discuss once we get to 14.2.
Well, we are at 14.2 for selection of provisional appointee to fill board member vacancy. Pass this also on to our secretary of the board, Superintendent Mendez.
Thank you, Board President Alice Lopez. The board had the opportunity to interview two candidates in open session. The board voted to fill the vacancy by provisional appointment on January 28th, 2025. The board must select a provisional appointee to fill the board vacancy. School boards can take action by written ballot, identifying their preferred candidate, with ballots read out loud and the vote or abstention of each vote by the board member noted and recorded in the minutes. If a single candidate does not receive the affirmative vote of a majority of the board, multiple rounds of the voting may be necessary. Each school board member has written ballots numbered 1 through 5. School board members, Please start with written ballot number 1. Place your name on the top right. And here are your instructions. Please vote for one candidate to serve as the provisional appointee to fill the school board vacancy. Mark your choice with an X next to your preferred candidate. Your vote will be read out loud, and the vote or abstention to each vote of each board member noted and recorded in the minutes. We will continue this process of written ballots until a single candidate receives the affirmative vote of a majority of the board. Board members, please read aloud your vote or abstention to the vote to be noted and recorded in the minutes. Board Member Espinoza.
Do I say who I'm voting for?
Yes.
Oh, I chose number 2, Cynthia Godwin.
Board Member Alvarez.
I voted number 1, Zamora.
Board Member Gomez.
I voted number 2, Cynthia Godwin.
Board Member Lopez.
I voted number 1, Mr. Zamora.
With the written vote count of 2-2, a candidate did not receive the affirmative vote of a majority of the board. We will continue this process of written ballots until a single candidate receives the affirmative vote of a majority of the board. Please begin to vote again using ballot number 2. Board members, please read aloud your vote or abstention to be noted as recorded in the minutes. Board Member Espinoza.
I voted for 1, Merced Zamora.
Board Member Alvarez.
Number 1, Zamora.
Board Member Gomez.
Number 2, Cynthia Godwin.
Board Member Lopez.
Number 1, Mr. Zamora.
With the written count of 3-1, a candidate did receive the affirmative vote of a majority of the board. The selection of the provisional appointee to fill the board vacancy is complete. A request to move to 14.3, oath of office. At this moment, before we move to 14.3, we'd like to thank both candidates for interviewing for the open board position at Farmersville Unified School District.
Okay.
14.3.
We're going to go to 14.3, the oath of office for newly appointed board member. Mr. Zamora, if you can please come forward.
So this certifies that the undersigned, being remaining members of governing board of the Farmersville Unified School District in Tulare County, California, on the date entered below, have appointed Mr. Merced Zamora III to the office of the governing board members of the above-named district to replace Ruben Macareno and to hold the office until the next governing board election of the said district, November 2026. The oath of office. Please raise your right hand. I, Merced Zamora III,
I, Merced Zamora III,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will defend and support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the Constitution
and allegiance to the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully discharge
and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which
the duties in which
I am about to enter.
I'm about to enter.
Please help me welcome Governing Board Member of the Farmersville Unified School District, Merced Zamora III.
You are officially on the board at this time. You may take that seat.
You're a part of us. What we do, you do. Remember, you represent the students. You have a voice right there. You can say whatever you want. Oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah, these chairs are heavy. Yeah, come on in, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Goodwin, for applying. And as everyone is aware, this is just to fill the remainder of Mr. Macareno's term, which is 2 years, correct?
Yes.
So this is only a 2-year term for Mr. Zamora unless he runs again. So I know that you don't have a board packet. If you wish to abstain or have had sufficient time to review anything that we have coming up, you can do so. Okay? Everything okay?
Yep.
Okay. So now we go to 14.4, consideration of any item any member of the board wishes to have on a future agenda or provide a written update. Mr. Lopez, anything for the board? Thank you. Mr. Zamora? Okay.
Not at this time.
Thank you. Alvarez?
You know, I put something on the board packet last week, and I don't think it was understood what I was looking for. I did have an extensive conversation, but it had to do with the kids that are being removed from sports because of grades. Not the reason why they're removed, but what happens to them afterwards, and what are we doing for these kids that were removed from the team to help them get their grades up? That was my question.
Okay.
The
Thank
heart
you.
of the child.
Thank
Okay?
you.
So what I understand is the Tier 2 piece.
After the fact. Hey, we understand we have contracts as to build character and all these type of things, right? And sometimes.
You want to know what's being done to get them back?
Exactly. Get their grades up again, rather than just, okay, you're not on.
So all three, academic, behavior, and social emotional, what are we doing when students are, say, for example, not on a team anymore where they have that structured support? What are we doing after they leave the team to try to either get them back in or just at least a soft landing spot for them?
Or at least they understand that they can get back, all
Yeah,
right?
is that part of it?
I think
Yeah.
that's not understood, and I get that, but, you know, it's all about the grades, but it's also about the heart of the child.
Okay.
Right.
Ms. Gomez?
I don't have anything at this time.
And now that we have a full board, we need to schedule our walkthrough
Yeah, that'd be great.
as soon as possible before it starts raining again or something else happens.
Mr. Melendez, we do need to meet for that.
Okay, 15.0, business services. 15.1, approval of budget revision number 3.
Motion?
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. Are there any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? We have 401, with Mr. Zamora abstaining. 17.0, future meeting dates. 17.1, February 11th, 2025, and February 25th, 2025.
Quick
20
que-
point, I'm sorry?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's okay.
Did we motion for 14.2? I know, it says select a provisional appointee fill board member vacancy, but do we need a motion or second that?
Well, we probably, just to go back, we probably should. Although we did have it on the record. Okay. Is there a motion
Motion?
for Mr. Zamora?
I second.
On this one, you cannot vote, Mr. Zamora. Okay, we have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Freddie Espinoza to appoint Mr. Zamora for the board vacancy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
It's 3-1. Freddie. 20.0, adjournment to closed session. We will be going into closed session to discuss 20.1, conference with labor negotiator GC 54957.6. It is the intention of the board to meet in closed session to review its position and to instruct its designated reps. Agency designated representatives Manuel Mendez, name of organization FTA/CSCA/management. 20.2, public employee discipline dismissal release complaint, government code 54957. 20.3, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure to litigation pursuant to subdivision D, 2, and E of section 54956.9, one case, and we go into closed session at 8:16.
Thank you, everybody. Our
Okay. Returning into open session at 9:07 PM. 21.0, action taken on closed session items. 21.1, conference with labor negotiator GC 54957.6. It is the intention of the board to meet in closed session to review its position and to instruct its designated reps. Agency designated representatives, Manuel Mendez, name of organization, FTA/CSEA/management, no action taken. 21.2, public employee discipline dismissal release complaint, government code 54957, no action. 21.3, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure to litigation pursuant to subdivision D, 2, and E of section 54956.9. One case, no action. Adjournment at 9:08.
Motion?
Second.
We have a motion by John Alvarez, second by Sabrina Gomez. All in favor?
Aye.
Carries 5.